Hi there everyone, this is Jonatan Alvarado, singer, guitar player, lute player, baroque guitar player, all sorts of stuff that are related to the study and the performance of historical repertoires, and since a couple months, brand new member of this wonderful collective that we have in Splendor in Amsterdam. I was asked to do a little video presentation to introduce myself. Some of you might know me anyway from my years as the director of an ensemble that was there in residence for a couple of years, Seconda Pratica, and a very good friend of Clara McFadden, so you might have seen me when she was creating havoc there. What I do as a musician, what interests me is mainly not so much the study of old music in itself, so the repertoires in itself, to do old things just for the sake of them being old. What interests me is mainly the approach that historical informed practice takes, right? To understand the proper context in which certain pieces were performed, socially speaking, but also in the level of performance, which instruments were they using, how were they used, which is also very important. The circumstances around the pieces that we perform nowadays, not so much in terms of dogmatic things, so not allowing to people to create on top of that, let's say, mainly to have a certain contact with a certain sensibility of the past and see how we can bring that to modern audiences and in a more concrete way. I believe that early music in itself is not a repertoire, but it is an approach. It's a way of thinking about things. It can be done even with early 20th century things. It can be done with things from the 70s at this point, the 1970s. Everything is history if it's done in a certain way and with a certain approach. So to illustrate that, I decided to give you a little sneak preview of a program that I hope I will be premiering there in Splendor as soon as I can, which is called Voces de Bronce. So it's like voices made of bronze. No, copper, not bronze. Based on early 20th century Argentinian music. Basically kind of like the grandfathers or the great-grandfathers of what we know now as tango, or what we know also as Argentinian folklore. The chacarera, the gato, all these beautiful dances, with a great emphasis on the music of my province, the province of Buenos Aires, that was really popular up to the first years of the 20th century. For this program, I'm getting inspired in very old recordings. The oldest one is from 1905, but there are also written records from the 19th century that tell us how this music was performed, the way that you had to strum when you play the guitar. Certain melodies are written in score too, so we can get inspired from that record in performance. More importantly, I'm using historical guitars that I got in Argentina. My guitar, it's a Núñez guitar from 1913, from a Galician builder that went to Buenos Aires, became the first Latin American builder to build guitars in an industrial fashion. And the guitar that I will be using for this little video that I prepared for you here at home, that it's a Francisco Rebasti guitar. It's an Argentinian builder, born at I think around the 1890s, some of that. It's signed on the 12th of October, if I remember correctly, of 1921. The guitar will be in a couple months exactly 100 years old. They're really beautiful, really beautiful instruments, and all the instruments that we're using have their own character, so to speak. So it's also really interesting to see how, as I was saying before, the link with the instruments gives you an idea of a certain sensibility towards sound that the builders had, and how we can adapt our voices and our playing to these instruments that are there to teach us in a way, to demand that we do certain things in a certain way. The song in itself is called La Mariposa. Beautiful poetry, beautiful music. I took the inspiration from a recording of Carlos Gardel, the great Argentinian singer. The original recording was made in 1917, and I took that recording as to learn the song and now to perform it for you. So I hope you like it. Looking forward to meet you all in person as soon as all this craziness comes back to whatever normal will be, to be able to play music for all of you and to feel you in the same room, and to have that experience and to keep on having it for a very long time. See you soon.
Tiene muy lindo color
mariposa liviana, ni le encanto la mañana. La estrella tiene fulgor, perfume tiene la flor, misterio la fuente pura. El campo tiene dulzura, el viento canciones suaves, dulce gorjeo las aves. Yo solo tengo amargura. Entre sus flecos la aurora tiene mil encantos presos, dulzura tiene los besos de la mujer que se adora. La guitarra cuando llora también tiene sus ternezas. La noche tiene grandezas que sus crespones estampa. Lindura tiene la pampa. Yo solo tengo tristeza. Listo.